Today I'm going to show you how to smoke cheese. It's probably one of the easiest things you'll ever do in your life. If you saw my bologna making video where I made venison bologna, I used this big tube. If you didn't see it, I'll put a link to it down below. It's actually on my other channel. It's not here on Chomp. It's over on my personal channel because it's related to hunting deer. This big tube is a little bit much for cheese. This is the original tube I have. This is an amazing pellet smoker, the actual brand. Look at how small that is. That came out maybe, I don't even know now, maybe 10 years ago. That other one that they made, this one's from Amazon. This wasn't out when I got this one. They're quite a bit different. What you do is you get this little one and wood pellets, right? Same wood pellets that go in like a Traeger grill. Dump it in there. I'm only gonna fill it like halfway because I only want it to smoke for like an hour. Biggest problem I see that people make, it's because they smoked it too long. If you remember my other torches toast, I had to order a new one. This is like ready to go to war with this thing. I just need to light these pellets quick. Just need to get some flames to it. Get it going. It'll burn itself. This torch is overkill for this. All right, see how it's lit? Just gonna let it burn for a minute. All right, so once you get that lit, just let it go for a little while. Right? I mean, you can see that this thing is just covered in smoke. Now, I've had people give me shit before about my grates, not understanding that this is stainless steel. There is no rust there. It's impossible for that to rust. It's never been scraped with any kind of abrasive or anything that would make it rust. Whew, it is cold. That's the other thing. You want this to be chilly. It's like 30 degrees out here right now, and it could be maybe as high as like 50, and you'd be okay. Whew. Anyhow, I got a couple guys from work in with me on this one. So we got Chad, and he's got pepper jack, cheddar, sharp provolone. We got Steven, he's got mango habanero gouda, forage mushroom scallion jack, jalapeno pepper jack. And we got Martin, he's got cave aged cheddar, gouda, and then just, it looks like extra sharp cheddar. And then this is all my stuff. This is just cheap cheese. Extra sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, pepper jack, and more pepper jack. I'm not doing a bunch for me. What I think I'm gonna do though is, I think because my stuff's so different, I'm gonna put me and Steven on the top rack, and then I'm going to put Martin on the second rack, and then I'm gonna put Chad on the bottom rack. Let me get these cut open and get them in there, and then I'll show you. Yeah, we're going Steven on the top rack with me. Man, this stuff is sealed up tight. Fancy cheese. Steven and your fancy cheese. It's boar's head. It's good stuff. Alright. Put him on that side. Alright, let's see what we got now. Ooh. Boy, this is not nice. I don't know how this is gonna smoke at all. Yeah, ooh, it's like falling apart. I'm gonna have to be careful with this one. That's that mushroom one. Ugh, it's like wet. Forage mushroom and scallion. Never did that one before. It just wanted to just fall apart. This is that mango habanero. All right. Steven's on the top here. I'm gonna go in beside him. Mine ought to unwrap a lot easier. This is like poverty cheese. You know, for people that live in poverty like me. I don't make all that fancy money that Steven makes. I'm just kidding. It was on sale, and it's pretty good anyhow. This is just a mild cheddar. I'm gonna stand mine up because I gotta get more in here. Mine are basically both cheddar and pepper jack. The flame went out. If it doesn't go out on its own, you want to blow it out. Let's look at this. You can see I got Steven's on the left, I got mine on the right, I got mine stacked. This is the cave age, the square block one, the karst, it looks like is the name. You can definitely tell it has like a cave rind. Sometimes when I make smoked cheese for people, I'll just buy it in bulk, and then other times I'll let them pick what they want. Check that out. You can see that rind on the end there. Now we're into the gouda. This actually has a wax ring on it already. That's what this red stuff is. That's wax. I'm gonna peel it. Martin, I hope you're not mad. It's gonna get smoked and vacuum sealed anyhow. See the wax? That's what's on that expensive cheese. And it's cold out here. Anyway, it would be easier is if this plastic would stop blowing all over the place. All right, this is sharp provolone. One of my favorites is actually Swiss. And another one that people don't think of a lot of times is Parmesan. Is this hot? I'm gonna move this down. That way it'll move it down into this bottom rack. That way it'll distribute better. All right, I'm gonna shut it up. Pick up this plastic. All right, it's time to let it go for like an hour. I don't even know what time it is. Let's see, 5 o'clock, 4:56. I'll try and check it at like 6 or until the smoke runs out, whichever comes first. It's still smoking a little bit, but it's been in there for like, I don't know, probably a little over an hour. It's 6:12, so we've been in there for an hour and 15 minutes roughly. I got a cookie sheet. I'm gonna get this cheese out of here, and then we'll take it inside and vacuum seal it. So that mushroom cheese that Steven got me, as soon as I lifted it out of the smoker, it fell apart. I'm just gonna seal it together best I can. Sorry, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's crumbly. It's almost like blue cheese consistency. See how it cracked? You can see these bags are way too big. So one thing you can actually do is fold them in half. One end's already sealed. Fold them in half, roughly, and figure out where half would be. And this doesn't work for all cheese blocks or whatever, but you can make your own bag. I'm just gonna get, this is the sealing edge. I'll just put that on there. I'm gonna hold it. Some of these bags are way too big. I could have just hit the seal button. I didn't need to hit vacuum. If you don't cut them down, you'll have this massive bag. So we'll just put this longer cheese down in there. It's a gamble when you make your own bag like that. Sometimes you just gotta bite it off and accept that you're gonna waste the bag and vacuum seal the whole thing. And I think with that one, it's gonna be that way. You hear that right now? It doesn't want to seal. It's never gonna end. So if I hit cancel, I could have just hit the seal button. Let's see if I can get it to seal better. It might not. If it doesn't this time, while it's still holding, I'll just hit the seal button and force it. It's not like, it's not loving me. Try again. You'll hear when it's gonna go. It's gonna go, listen. There, it shut off. Light's blinking. I usually give it like, once that light stops blinking, I usually try to wait like another extra 10 seconds. My theory being that it's got everything clamped down tight already. And so I want it to hold that while it seals and everything cools off. That way it'll stay good and sealed. All right. That's basically what it boils down to right there. That's this pepper jack. So I'm just gonna put an S on it for Steven. I'll put pepper jack. Today is December 1st. You want to give this at least 2 weeks, and it needs a resting period. Without a resting period, you might get that like, oh, it tastes like an ashtray, or it's weird tasting. That's because it didn't sit long enough. So I usually write the date whatever 2 weeks out is. So we'll say 14 days, we'll say 12/15. That way, that's like an eat on date. 12/15, you can eat on or after. With it being vacuum sealed like this, you can put it in the refrigerator and it'll last easily a couple years. It's just like dipping it in wax, but you're putting it in a vacuum seal. So cheese, any kind of hard cheese like this is really hard to mess up. Cream cheeses and such, if they get moldy or whatever, they're done. But like a harder cheese like this or a cheddar, if you get one of those, and even after you open it, if it has mold on it, you can cut the mold on the outside off and continue to eat it. And that's actually like kind of what that cave cheese is that Martin got. So you can see that's pretty easy to do. And honestly, if you just had the tube and you don't even have a smoker, you can do it anyhow. You could do it in a cardboard box. You could do it in you can do it in your grill. You know, put your cheese in your grill. All you got to do is it's got to just be cold and get that smoke going. It's nice to have a vacuum sealer. I mean, cheese is pretty stable, especially after you smoke it. So if you were only making a little bit for like yourself and you were doing it on your grill, you could probably wrap it in freezer paper. You could put it in a Ziploc bag. As long as it's refrigerated, it should last 2 weeks, no problem. But if you really want to get a vacuum sealer, I probably have a grand total of, I think, you get 100 bags, maybe 200 for 15 to 20 bucks. And then the vacuum sealer, I probably have $25-30 in it from Amazon. I use it all the time. Not just cheese, chicken, steaks, hamburger. Buy stuff in bulk and save money. Let me a like if you want to see more stuff like this. Peace.